morning, Ventura Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Karen Mitchell. Won't you join me and stand up and sing our first song together called Live Your Bliss? The words are right there in your order of service.
And let's all together join in the sacred act of prayer. Taking a deep breath and dropping your awareness into your hearts. There's one life. That life is God's life. That life is love. That life is my life right now. That is the life of everyone here. God is the glorious, radiant expression of my beloved I am presence. I am radiating sacred love, sacred joy, sacred connection, sacred abundance, sacred wisdom, sacred health, sacred well-being, sacred union. We all are radiating these every moment. And I speak my word for the beautiful unfolding of this service today, that we all get to radiate love and truth, light, wisdom, connection, joy, abundance. And we get to midwife this in each other. How beautiful it is for this unfolding to happen right here, right now, through Karen's message, through our prayers, through our musicians, through just being together. So take a deep breath and let it all in. Let this divine love and light in, and let it permeate every part of your being. And let yourself be this beacon of light to each other and to our world. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to pray for these truths, for how they're unfolding right here and right now within each of us and all around us. And with a very full heart, I release my words to the mystery, knowing it is done as I have spoken. We are love and light in action, and together we say, and so it is.
Thank you so much. And as we deepen into our seats, feeling our feet grounded on the floor, grounded on Mother Earth, let's just turn a little deeper within. Let's try to remember what we're doing here, what this is all about, where we came from, and who we are. We can remember it right now as we sing together, I am remembering. And as we open our eyes in love with what is, as it is, and so it is.
Could there be more to this life we call mine than a journey through space or a storyline? More to love than the body can sense, than the mind can conclude from experience. Does who we are begin with breath, depend on form, or end with death? Strip away these roles, these names, and tell me what remains, and who you really are, who you really are. We measure success by the things we accrue, or the bonds that we form, or the deeds we do. These too shall pass, as hard as we try. to hold on to form. Form will die. But inherent in this dance of form is the chance to see what's yet unborn. The choice to throw this chance away, be caught up in the play of who we think we are. Who we think we are. This is your lifetime. It could end at any time. Where is your attention? Where is your prayer? Where is your song? In a fortunate life comes a call to be free from the cycle of bondage, misidentity, to wake from the dream, finally realize the truth of one's being before the body dies. Before the final scene is past, see the screen on which it's cast. See who's seeing this, me and you, and then you will see who you really are, who you really are, who you really are, who we really are.
Annie Sims, what a blessing. I'm so blessed to have you providing music to support this service today. You are just brilliant. Well, good morning again. You've probably figured out by now, I am not Reverend Bonnie Rose. I think I wear, yeah, right? I wear a little more makeup, I think, than Bonnie. So I'm Reverend Karen Mitchell, and I'm your new staff minister. I have the name tag to prove it now. I just got my official name tag. I'm so excited. I feel like I sent away for it with cereal box tops, and got it in the mail. I'm so, so blessed. So Reverend Bonnie checked in with me, before she left town, because she loves you guys. Like, you probably don't even realize how much she loves you. But she does. And she was, of course, concerned because I'm, like the babysitter who's the teenager that you leave in charge of your house and, you're afraid they're going to have a party while you're gone, So, so Bonnie checked in with me via email, just making sure you're all good. You've got the order of service. Everything is good. I know it's going to be fine. And I emailed her back and I just said, whew, yeah, I'm a little nervous. It's a little odd. I'm usually doing what Annie does. And then I just sit up, sit down, then I'm done. And whew, that was awesome, But not today. So I said, no, I'm doing fine. And, if I forget something, like we didn't do the group affirmation. I thought there was a teenager that was just going to pop up and run on stage and say the thing, but apparently I need to invite someone up to do that. So we're going to do that later. We didn't escape the affirmation. Things like that happen, and it's all unfolding perfectly. So I emailed her back, and I said, yeah, I'm a little nervous, but I think I've got this. And I said something, I tried to be very ministerial and very metaphysical, and I said, it's all going to be perfect because I'm just going to get myself out of the way, let spirit come through me. I'm just a hollow bone. I'm just the channel for whatever comes through. And, God's in charge of the service anyway. And I thought, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. She'll be proud of me. So I said it. Beep, send. Okay, so I sent it. And Reverend Bonnie is so fabulously wonderful. And she sends me an email back and she says, actually, Kenny's in charge. So I thought it was God, Well, Kenny is God anyway, God in the form of Kenny, so it's all good. So I have to confess, first of all, I'm not who you think I am. No, this is not where I rip off a wig and start talking like a man, no. Those of you who've seen Victoria, no. No, but I'm not who you think I am. Chris has known me a long time, and still, I'm not who you think I am. And guess what? You guys aren't who I think you are either. I'm who I think I am. And you're who you think you are. That's what Annie was singing about there. So many times we define ourselves by what other people are thinking of us. And I love that book by Terry Cole Whitaker, What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. Have you guys read that? Wow. How much time do we spend worrying about what other people are going to think about us? And what kind of stuff do we say to ourselves? So what could I possibly bring to you and talk to you about this morning that Reverend Bonnie hasn't done in a more brilliant, more funny, more eloquent way? She's my mentor. She's an amazing spiritual warrior goddess. The only thing I could think of was to talk about me. That's the only thing I've got left, that she can't actually talk about better than I can. And, because we're starting our relationship here, I want to tell you a bit about me, but I kind of want to do it in an online dating sort of way, where I make myself sound like really young and thin and talented and attractive, so you'll ask me out on another date. I haven't done online dating, but I assume that's the way it goes. Have you done? I don't know. I haven't done that. And I wish that I could just share with you, flash forward through all of my life so that you could get to know me, kind of like Harry Potter when Professor Dumbledore takes his wand and just pulls his memories out. I don't know, am I a Harry Potter geek now? Now you know I'm a Harry Potter geek. Okay, you know that much about me. And I could just share with you all of my memories and experiences. But we've only got a few minutes here to do all of that. And I've been on the planet for a little while. So I'm going to give you the Reader's Digest version of what's important, I think, to share about me. So first of all, it's a little surreal standing here where Bonnie stands because I came up here for the first time about 10 years ago. I was going through a very upsetting and difficult divorce. My dad was dying slowly of cancer, and I had just written my first New Thought CD and was getting it out there. And I was making the rounds, and somebody told me, "You got to go up to Ventura. It's such a cool community up there, and Reverend Bonnie's so cool." And I was like, I love Ventura, because I actually lived in Camarillo as a kid when there was pretty much nothing there but fields and orange groves, and it was wonderful. And I always wanted to come back up here. Every chance I get, from that time till now, I come up here and connect with the ocean and connect with you people. So 10 years ago, I came up here for the first time. I loved it. And in my mind and heart, I think I said, someday, that's going to be my center. And here I am. This stuff works, I got to tell ya. It took a while to manifest. Okay, it's all in God's time. I don't live here yet, but I will. I'm setting that intention. I love it here. And as I said to you, I think maybe a month ago when I first just said a little bit about being here, I was putting it off until, retirement, or when my daughter is in college, or, I was saying, I can't go to Ventura yet. I have so much to do. I have to go here, I have to go, I don't live there, I can't do this. And something in me said, do it now. What are you waiting for? What was I waiting for? I think I forgot who I was. And the talk title today is, Who Do You Think You Are? And not in kind of a New York way, who do you think you are? Not that way, but like, who do you think you are? Because that determines what your life is looking like right now. I'm pretty happy with what my life is looking like right now. I've been in many, many places, and even yesterday, sometimes my life doesn't look like what I want it to look like. What do I think about that? What do I feel about that? How does that relate to this teaching? How are we creating our lives by what we think? It's in our teaching symbol. People always ask me, what is that V? What is that V for? Is it V for victory? What is that for? Is it a peace sign? What is that? If you take foundations class, which I hope you do, or any of these other classes, you will learn a lot about it. But the teaching symbol kind of represents the idea that thoughts are things. The thought is on the top part of the circle. The circle is everything, all that is. Thought, creative thought, the divine creator energy is in the top section. Everything starts with that first thought. And where does it go? It travels down into the center section of that symbol, which is the unformed substance. It's like Play-Doh. It's like liquid metal that hasn't been poured into a mold yet. It's unlimited opportunity. It's like a fertile soil where that seed is planted. So our thought is a thing. We're planting the seed in the soil. And where does it come out? It comes out in the bottom section, which is this, the world of form. The atoms and molecules and our experience and our abundance and our relationships. It all comes out there. So does every seed get planted and take form? Do we all think about having an elephant and then one shows up in our living room? Wow, I shouldn't have thought that. What was I thinking? How am I going to feed this thing anyway? Can you imagine cleaning up the poop? I had to talk about poop in honor of Reverend Bonnie. Thank you. Poop must be mentioned at some point. So the poop, the good, the bad, the ugly, it all shows up. Okay, but only the seeds that we believe in, that we are passionate about, that we ignite with our feeling nature, that's the creative part. That's where it really happens. So if you're randomly just thinking about stuff, it's not all going to show up. It may in little ways, but it's really not going to. If you want a new car and you're not thinking about, this is the car I want, this is the car I need, you're just thinking about other stuff, the car's not going to show up. But, you guys are all divine manifestors. How many of you have manifested a parking spot? That's where we all start, right? This is the philosophy of manifesting parking spots and more. But why think small? Why stop at a parking spot? So I love this quote from James Allen. I'll talk a little bit more about me in just a second. But he wrote this book called As Man Thinketh. So a man is literally, and I think this goes for a woman too, I'm just going to say, a person, is literally what he thinks. His character being the complete sum of his thoughts. So I want to ask you guys in an audience participation way, okay, so think for a second, how are you feeling about yourself right now? How are you feeling about your life right now? And I want people to just sort of randomly, in a totally chaotic, non-organized way, just shout out a feeling about yourself and your life right now. It can be bad, good, ugly, don't judge it. Somebody say something about how you're feeling about yourself. Huh? Excited. Blissed? Blessed. I love that. And blissed. Grateful. Okay. So we get to the nitty-gritty. Thank you. Uncomfortable. Yes. This is not a test where you pass the test by having the prettiest answer. Okay. Yes, we are grateful and blessed. Yes, of course. But some of us are uncomfortable. How about old? Do we feel old? How about tired? You had to get up this morning, right? Anybody tired? Raise your hand. I know you're tired. That's my daughter. I can call her out. She had a sleepover last night, so there was no sleeping. There was just the over. So she's tired. Whatever we put after I am shows up and becomes our experience. How many times have I said to myself, I'm too old to make it in the music business? What am I thinking? I made a music video here, the end of January or whenever it was, and it's going to be out soon. And I was freaking out thinking, what am I doing? Who do I think I am? I made a music video. Yeehaw, why not? Why not go to Ventura? I am ready. Thank you. So whatever we put after I am shows up. Be careful. I am abundant. I am grateful. I am blessed. All of those wonderful things, yes. But I am uncomfortable. I am nervous. I am stressed. I am overworked. I am underloved. I am underappreciated. All of that stuff comes in. And all of that gets validated by us saying, yeah, that's me. That's who I am. And it's okay to be that in that moment. It's okay to be uncomfortable. Some of the best things come out of being uncomfortable, right? That uncomfortable thing like childbirth. I've been through that a few times. And I'll tell you, it's pretty darn uncomfortable. It really is. But you know, what you get out of it is amazing. So sitting with that discomfort is okay. We judge. I'm preaching to the choir here and I'm talking to myself. Judging. Wow. That's been something I really continue to work on. Oh, that's terrible. Do you ever find yourself saying, how horrible. Oh, that's just awful. How could that terribly happen? How could that happen? Ooh, it's awful. Or, ooh, that's fabulous. That's wonderful. I love that. That's great. What if it was just all part of the whole thing? What if we took our judgment out? Have you tried doing that? When everybody gets into that sort of feeding frenzy on the news and just, oh my God, what's happening now? Oh, isn't it awful? Oh, I'm so afraid. The world is so horrible. And everyone wants you to join in because, gosh, misery loves company, and also they want to be validated. Yes, it's horrible. Oh, it's terrible. But we're in this philosophy. You're here today because you are ready to be here today. I am ready to be here today. This is right where we're supposed to be. And in our philosophy, it's all good. It's all God. Now, does that mean it all is feeling wonderful? No. When my dad was dying of cancer, did I walk up to him and say, it's all good, Dad? No. Any of you who have known anyone going through that, it's pretty awful, terrible, bad to go through. In the smaller picture, it's torture. In the bigger picture, in this philosophy, we know that the real him is not his form, it's not his cancer, it's not his body, it's not his job. The real him is something we can't touch or see, but we can feel. And that thing, that one life that we talk about here on Sundays, is all there is. So all this other stuff, if we can just step back far enough to see the bigger picture, it changes our perspective. And the gifts of going through his cancer experience were that I got to be a daughter to him that I hadn't got to be before. So even in tragedy, in this philosophy, we can use the tools of this teaching to pull ourselves out into that bigger picture, to pull each other out, to see what we really are made of. So today is Palm Sunday for those of you who are of the Christian orientation, because this philosophy can be practiced with any religion, all religions, no religion, atheism, whatever you want. So Palm Sunday. So I parked my donkey in Reverend Bonnie's spot. More poop. I guess we're talking more about, I hope he doesn't leave anything. This is where Jesus supposedly rode into town, victorious. Everybody was waving palm fronds and saying Hosanna, and he rode in on a donkey. In the New Thought community, we see this beginning of this Holy Week leading up to Easter, we see it more as a journey to freedom. So this is a really good time to take a look at our thoughts, take a look at our lives, see what we want to change up, and guess what? We've got the power to do it. That teaching symbol explains it all right there. We got it. We got our seed thoughts, and we can plant them, and then, boop, it's going to show up, whatever that is. Now, it took me 10 years to get over here. I had to take a bunch of classes and study really hard and do a bunch of stuff, which I wanted to do, and I never, ever thought I would be a minister or wanted to be a minister, but here I am. So whatever you want to do, I would say just do it. More about me. So my family originally from New Jersey, moved out to LA when I was about 4. I come from a family of musicians, big surprise there. Wrote my first song when I was 5 on my ukulele that my dad got me. My dad and my uncle were famous jazz musicians. They played with Ella Fitzgerald and Billie Holiday and, all these big jazz people. So I was raised with that, but I didn't really gravitate much towards jazz. My sister did. I didn't. We came out here, and everything changed. My parents divorced. We kind of fell through the cracks, the 3 of us kids. We didn't get a lot of attention. I know none of you can relate to any of that, I'm sure. I always assume everybody's family is like Beaver Cleaver or like, everybody else but my family, right? So because I kind of had a distant relationship with my dad, thus the gift of his cancer getting us closer together, I made some interesting choices in partners. If there had been online dating, I may have done better, but but maybe not. Put on a picture from 10 years ago. That's me. No, so I made some interesting choices. I've been married a few times. I was not the kind of just shack up and live with me kind of a girl. I was a marrying type of girl. So that, and I've had lovely children. I have 2 grown boys, 26 and 22 years old. They're out of the house. The last one just left. I thought my oldest was never going to leave. God love him. I love him so much. And he was so comfortable staying at home. He carved out a niche for himself in the house, and he just really never wanted to leave. So thank God I manifested that. He's on his own, which is lovely. And, of course, I have my daughter, my last child. She's over here, Carly. Just wave to everybody, Carly. Yee! Okay. Embarrassed. Now she's mortified. I hate you, Mom. You introduced me in front of everybody. So that's my situation with my kids. I love my kids. Finishing raising Carly. When she's off to college, then I probably will be looking to be up here, and she knows that. She's looking forward to it, too. She loves it up here. So, gosh, how am I doing? I think I'm doing okay on time here. I don't want to talk too much. I just want to say that there was a point in my life when I was married to my boy's father for about 14 years. And he was an alcoholic addict who was not sober for 12 of those years. And that is a challenge. And I know none of you can relate to that either. Why am I talking about it? It was a challenge. And we pretend that everything's okay on the outside for our family and our friends. And inside, we're just dying. And it came to a point at the end of that marriage where I had gone from being, a young, happy, successful, beautiful person to feeling kind of like Farrah Fawcett in the burning bed. I don't know if you guys ever saw that. It was horrific. But the last night of being together, I found myself being thrown on the ground by him. And he had never done anything like that before. It was usually just verbal abuse, which is bad enough. But there I was on the ground, and he had ripped the phone out of the wall so that I couldn't call for help. So I somehow got up, ran out to the garage. That phone was still on the wall. I dialed 911. Then he came behind me and ripped that phone out of the wall. Now, what I didn't know was that the 911 people come anyway. Thank God, So they knew all I got was, I need help. That was it. The phone was ripped out of the wall. And they eventually came pretty quick. But then he threw me down again. He threatened to, punch me or some terrible thing. And I remember that moment with one of those clarity moments that you get when everything just stops. And I just knew my two boys were, little, 4 and 6. And I looked him in the eye, and I just said, do what you got to do. I'm not afraid of you anymore. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where that voice came from, but I was not afraid of him anymore. And he just backed off, and the police came, the 911 people came, everything was okay. He was taken to jail, where they let him out a few hours later and didn't tell me, but that's a whole other story. It all worked out to where now, when my son, our son, is playing a show somewhere, doing something, we show up, we're there. He's been sober for, I think, 18 years. He's still, wacky, but, who isn't? And because of the work through this philosophy and my friends, my family, I got through it. So I would say to you one last thing. As you continue to heal your personal universe, the entire planet will benefit and be lifted up by your light and your love. To walk in the world with the deep knowing that you can call upon a magnificent power at all times is to walk in grace. That power is right where you are. How are you going to walk in grace this week? Who are you? Who are you really? Let's go into prayer. So taking a deep breath and a lovely cleansing exhale. Knowing that all of life is one. Everything is one. There's one life, one love, and we are it. We are all that in form. We are here to love as God loves. We are here to live our bliss. Let's do it. That's what we're here to do. So just knowing the truth of that sets me free. Sets me free to be who I really am. And who I really am is love. So I just allow that truth to be so. I release my word of power to the mystery that makes it so. And together we say, and so it is. I am so blessed.
Boy, is Bonnie going to be proud of you. She couldn't have asked for anyone to fill the shoes better. Fantastic. Moved me to no end. You all, I feel the same way about you all that you did the first time I came here. I'm like, oh, this is my favorite. It's my favorite. You all, give yourselves a hand for that. I know it's a safe place too. If I cry when I sing, y'all are cool with that. Okay, well, there's no tears in this song. This is one that I wrote. It's very, very simple. It's called Love Is Who I Am. But I do want you to know that when I wrote it, the word God is what I had in mind every time we say the word love, okay? And it talks about who we are in substance. You'll get it. So I want you to sing with me if you know it. I am surrounded by love. I am surrounded by love. I am surrounded by love. Love is who I am. Supported. I am supported by love. I am supported by love. I am supported by love. Love is who I am. I'm going to let them take a solo. There's 2 key changes in this song. As I told Chris, in Nashville, where I come from, we applaud the key changes. I don't know why. This love won't let me fall. 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 Love is who I am. I'm a part of. I am a part of this love. I am a part of this love. I am a part of this love. Love is who I am. Love is who I am. This love is who I am. Joyful, loving, blessing, accepting, and grateful. All of them. God bless.